OneStreamLive is for people to find you. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to open an incognito tab. Searching, you need to be using an incognito tab because it doesn't know who you are. And that'll be confirmed by the fact that you've now gone incognito, and I'm going to search for myself. So I'm going to type in my name. Hello, welcome to this show, which is on Wednesday. It is 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK, and we're live on OneStreamLive on the YouTube channel. If you're watching live, I'd like to say welcome and hello. I'm just about to connect the chat, and I put a test message up a moment ago welcoming everyone. So just waiting for that message to come through, and if I go show, then there it is. If you're watching live, I'd like to say welcome and hello. I'm just about to connect. Right, okay, so all good, and I'm here. Everything's working, so let's press the button. Hello, it's always good to actually check out things. I now post a message on YouTube before I go live, and then I can show the message in the studio straight away. So I know that messaging is working. So if you comment on today's live broadcast, then you will be seen in the studio. And first commenter today is, apart from me, of course, is we say hello to Drew, and we have, oh no, my apologies. We say hello to Mr. Joe Shepherd of Livestream Solutions, a Livestream Academy. And Joe, thank you for joining me. I enjoyed watching your broadcast the other day. And today we're going to talk about something which I sort of took this for granted. I didn't know there was a technical term for it. But what we're talking about today is Go Live BTS. I thought, well, what is Go Live BTS? And it turns out that Go Live BTS stands for behind the scenes. And basically, people do use a lot of behind the scenes video, an awful lot. And we're going to take a look today. If I bring the menu on so you can see it straight away, so you can see what I'm going to be talking about during today's broadcast. And I'm going to go picture in picture in a second, and studio, and I need to move that over there. So this is what we're talking about today. I'm going to remove Joe from the screen, and we're underway. Okay, what we're actually talking about, two topics really, two topics in one. Creating behind the scenes content. In other words, how do you create behind the scenes content? And to the right of that, you'll see creators and brands successfully using BTS content. Now, Joe and I hail from the UK and from Ireland, and we know, as a matter of fact, that people like to watch behind the scenes video. We want to know, we're inquisitive. We want to know how things are done. We want the story. We want the ins and outs. I mean, newspapers are full of behind the scenes stories. I mean, we've got correspondents who bring in us news from around the world 24/7, and they're broadcasting on live video on Sky Television in the UK. But they're not the only ones broadcasting about live content, behind the scenes content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share now, share my screen, and in a second, I'll get a choice of things to share. And we have television channel which is known globally throughout the world, and it is, of course, the BBC. And the BBC put out high quality content for us to enjoy, but amongst the top programs on the BBC is one that I enjoy watching, and it's called Inside the Factory. And I'm going to show you in a second. Above me will appear, well, to explain more about what I'm talking about. So hopefully down here we have the image share. Okay, I'm going to come back to that in a minute. What I'm going to do is basically we're going to take a walk around creating behind the scenes content. I'm going to go over to media and we're going to look at something which is dear to me. In order to promote, you need people to know about it, and you have to do promotions. And one of the best promotions to do is to actually go behind the scenes to show how things work. Now, every Saturday, Angelica and I go to part one. And back over to chat for a moment, and I'll come back to the video in a moment. And I think I've got an advert. I'm going to put my glasses on because I need to read this. And yeah, and Joe is here, and Joe is saying BTS dispels myths, explains how things work and why and what can be done. It connects people. That's true. That's very true. Joe, thank you. I'm going to try screen share again. Just a moment. It didn't seem to go. So share screen and go over to that and then share. That should come through in a second. So let's go back to here. And as I was saying a moment ago, one of the top BBC programs is Inside the Factory, which you're going to see now. I'm glad about that. This is the top behind the scenes series. They're actually in series 8, and Greg and his partner there actually go and tell us about how things are done. So if we go to the episodes, we have episodes about paint and wallpaper, how they're both made, how sofas are made, and what an important one, how chocolate bars are made, how carpets are made. We're going around the house. Stout, Guinness, stuffed pasta. How do they make stuffed pasta? And jeans. How do they manufacture our jeans? Or even jelly beans and Yorkshire puddings as well. So all these are behind the scenes videos. And if you can get access to the BBC, you can watch them on the BBC. And this is on-demand video, but they are broadcast live. And we tend to catch them live, and then any we miss, we go back to the replay. But behind the scenes is big business. It really is. And I was talking about Park Run, and that's Park Run. That is Park Run. What we're going to do now, and I'm going over to the media, and leave the chat for a moment and go over to a video. And well, better than I can explain Park Run is this behind the scenes video, Park Run in New Zealand. And they're going to explain what Park Run is all about.
Since 2012, Park Run in New Zealand has been changing lives, growing from a single event to 50 and beyond every Saturday morning. That means more than 120,000 New Zealanders walking, running, volunteering, supporting, socialising, smiling and connecting. And we're only just getting started. At Park Run, we celebrate participation, not performance. While traditional sports celebrate getting faster, we are proud of getting slower. Time with friends is more important than finish times, and the communities Park Run creates extend beyond a Saturday morning. Our vision is to create an opportunity for everyone in New Zealand to become involved with Park Run whenever they want to, by providing a safe, joyful, welcoming experience where everyone belongs. This means reaching more people, starting more events, collaborating with more community groups, and increasing the health and well-being impact of parkrun across the country. We believe that parkrun is one of the most important social activities for health and well-being in New Zealand. And with your help, we can fulfill our commitment to keep parkrun free for everyone, forever. Thank you for your support.
And you can find your local parkrun at parkrun.com. Now this, I've just done my 52nd parkrun, and 2 weeks ago we're over in Holland. I did a parkrun there. Parkrun is international. That video I've just shown you is from New Zealand. And as you can see, if you do a how-to video, especially explaining your product or service, then other people can use it. Now, from a technical point of view, that video was on Twitter. I downloaded it from Twitter. I resized it to come into my OneStreamLive studio. I was able to play it in the studio. So when you're creating behind the scenes content, it's not just for your own broadcast, it's for other people's broadcast too. And that's basically the key to it. Behind the scenes, as Joe said a moment ago, and let's just bring this back on screen. Joe said a moment ago that BTS, behind the scenes, dispels myths, explains how things work, why and what can be done. It connects people. And the other thing is, this is key. Okay, it's all about engaging people, getting to know you, to like you and to trust you. And BTS is one of the best ways to do that. Now, you can use a BTS insert in your live broadcast anytime you like. You can take any part of your operations. In actual fact, if we go over to here, we can see the card for today, and we're going to go through this now. But that was a great example, Parkrun in New Zealand. Thank you to Parkrun New Zealand. And if you're in New Zealand, check out Parkrun. It takes place on a Saturday at 9 a.m. and you'd be more than welcome, whether you want to walk, run or jog. Now I'm going to take that to full screen, and we're going to go picture in picture as I talk about, well, I need to move that there. Okay, so we've got the example I gave you a moment ago, BBC, which we're coming back to later. But basically now what we're going to talk about is what I put on my agenda, because one of the things about all of this is creating behind the scenes content. You need to plan the story. Okay, you need to have a script. You need to, people involved need to know exactly what they're doing. You need the involvement of everybody. You need a script for everybody to work to. So you plan the story and you show the journey and focus on the people. We love interacting. We love seeing people doing their daily jobs and finding out what they do. And the other thing is that, and it's very difficult, the video we just watched, the people in it were very natural. They knew they were being videoed. We're used to being videoed at Parkrun, but they were very natural. And it wasn't, nothing in that video was actually done on purpose. It wasn't, it was real. It was as real as it gets, because that was footage from parkruns around New Zealand. And so being authentic is as important in BTS video as it is in a live show. So bear that in mind. Bear that in mind. I'm going to go picture in picture now. So I'm just going to stop the screen share for a moment. Okay, and I should be able to go picture in picture in a second right now. So you've got the card on the screen, which will be bigger. You've got me in the bottom right hand corner, and we're good. So I'm going to again. Sometimes get ghosts in the machine. So creating the content, creating BTS content. First of all, it's your own business's content that you're actually using. You want to show the journey from beginning to end. You want to emphasize the people involved. You want to emphasize that this is not rehearsed. You don't need to rehearse a BTS video, basically you want to be as true to life as you can. Choose your medium. Now, BTS is not something that's restricted to video, be it live video, recorded video. You can use BTS in a blog post, in images. So as far as the medium is concerned, it could only be a simple single image from a manufacturing process, or it can be a video about the whole process, or it can be a blog post written by a member of staff, which actually highlights what's going on within your company. And you want to highlight key elements. In other words, you want to have points within the video which stand out. Okay, now the video we watched from Park Run was very professional. I'm going to show you another professional video later. But professionalism comes with practice. And as live broadcasters, we're happy to be on screen anytime. But what we need to do is just practice. Yeah. The only way to get good at something is to practice it. And creating BTS video takes practice. It takes knowledge as well. You can't do this. If you're a member of the company and you know how the company works from A to Z, you can do a BTS video. If you're coming from outside, it's more difficult because you've got to learn the internal processes and then adapt them for a BTS video. If you're part of the company, it's a lot easier to actually create behind the scenes video. So let's switch around again. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Hello, you're watching Stephen live from wonderful Wiltshire in England. I had so many bits and pieces moving at the beginning of this live broadcast. I want to say thank you for watching on YouTube. If you're watching the replay on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter as well today, then thank you very much. I do appreciate you actually popping in. If you have any questions about any aspect of what I'm talking about, then please do ask. I'm here to answer your questions, whether it be live or afterwards. If you're watching the replay, thank you. And you can make comments and I will get to them after this live broadcast. So medium wise, highlight the key moments. And you've got, if you're a producer of goods, you've got the product design, the equipment you actually use in producing the product. And then we talked about people earlier. You've got the collaboration between your staff in terms of working together to take it from beginning through to end. Now, why do we watch? If I just share again and we go to the screen, why do we have this fascination with BTS video? Well, it's very simple. We want to know, if I go back one, we want to know how things work. And that's how the series Inside the Factory came about. Greg Wallace and his assistant have been now broadcasting for 8 years. They've been doing BTS video for 8 seasons. And very good they are too. I mean, basically, they've done a lot of them and they've practiced and they are, well, Greg's never going to be perfect, but it's high quality behind the scenes video. How are the everyday things that we use actually manufactured? And they talk about everything that we want to know about. And because they've established a reputation for being fair, then they are welcome to join in any factory. Now, I'm just going to see if I can take one of these videos and we'll go for the paint and wallpaper one. I may be going into, there we are. So there's the paint and wallpaper one. And I can actually press play, although because of geographic restrictions, I'm not going to. But you find this on the BBC and you find out about paint and wallpaper, sofas, chocolate, carpets, jeans, stuffed pasta, stout, bath bombs, Yorkshire puddings, how to make a Yorkshire pudding, and trains and jelly beans. So all that information, behind the scenes information, is there. And what we're talking about today is not only following in their footsteps, but following their footsteps, but doing your own Yeah, so I'm going to come back to me, and we're going to stop the share again. Okay, and bring in the agenda. And we're talking earlier about planning. If you're doing the BTS video, do plan it. Do have a script which you can actually run through, which everybody knows about. Now, this is key. Okay, you want everybody involved, and people know their own jobs. They know their own part of the process backwards, and they can talk about it. What you don't want, though, in a BTS video is a false response, or a response which is not real. In a BTS video, you want people to be as real as possible. You don't want them to be following a line, but reading lines out. None of that. People want to be talking from their heart about something they enjoy doing, something that they are expert at. That's what you want to capture. And basically, you want to bring people in. You want to explain the process. And you want people to listen to the experts in their field. Yeah. So you've got a beginning of the process, and then you follow it all the way through, and all the people involved get to have their say. At the end of it, you've got a video which you can use in a live broadcast, and you can actually promote. And the other thing is, we said earlier that if you create how-to videos, then other people will use them. So if you're going to create an how-to video, then make it public. Okay, if you're putting it on YouTube, make it public. Don't make it private. We'll come back to doing private BTSs later, but make it public so anybody can actually share it. What you're actually after is as wider audience as possible. You want to grow the audience for the product or service that you're giving, and you give an explanation from behind the scenes. Now, behind the scenes can be anything, as we see in this short video from, if I go down here into my archives. Now, this was published on Twitter. Twitter is owned by Elon Musk, and this is also owned by Elon Musk. That is from Tesla. And again, that video was on Twitter. I downloaded it, edited it, and well, I changed the size of it to fit into my studio. But there's so much out there. I mean, that was so professionally produced. That's a high quality BTS video. And as you probably gathered by now, it's also an advert. So you're not only showing behind the scenes, you're actually advertising at the same time, much in the same way as Park Run did earlier. The Park Run video that we saw at the beginning was actually asking people to contribute. Park Run is free, but it does rely on people donating their time and money. It's a charity. It's a global charity. So when you actually sort of give something to Park Run, you are donating to charity. When you buy a Tesla, then, well, yes, you enter a different world, as that video described. So that was a BTS video. Now, I am slightly limited to the size of video I can bring into my studio. So I've chosen 2 examples of a BTS video, but we can make BTS videos as well. Let's just go back to as the whole. Okay, and in terms of the BTS video, we can be educational. We can be interactive as well. So as we're live broadcasting, we can include polls in our live broadcast. And we want to capture the perspective. So we want it from perspective of the person who's directing the video, person who's actually in the video, and then the people responsible for editing it afterwards. Now, they, in certain circumstances, will be more than one person. But in my case, the video I'm about to show you is just me. As we saw with the Tesla video, that was a very professional production. Several different camera shots we used, or series of camera shots. It was all edited together. The music was chosen on purpose. It was a very professional video. Editing presentation is important. If you're doing BTS video, behind the scenes video, then you want to get the best quality that you can. And we can actually do that. And then in terms of releasing the video, in other words, when do you release a BTS video? Well, a BTS video is worthy of a launch. And what I would do with a BTS video is I would go over to YouTube and I would launch it as a premiere on YouTube. So the first people to see it are the people who are following you on YouTube. They will get notification that there's a premiere coming up. And if there's a premiere coming up, it must be something special. And you get everybody excited to actually join in and you introduce it. And then, yeah. So it's a great way to launch is to do it on YouTube as a premiere. Any BTS video, even if you're going to use it again and again and again and again. Now, the life of a BTS video, is basically, as long as your processes don't change, it's there for weeks, months, years. Yeah, it's worth doing it right. Now, I spend some of my time doing BTS videos. I'm just going to show you a short excerpt of my BTS video. So let's go. We're in the OneStreamLive studio, my OneStreamLive studio, and there's some new functions I'd like to take a look at. First of which is reactions. And if I click on reactions, I get icons appearing underneath my screen, like so. Now, the thing is, these reactions are available to the host of the show, and if the host makes them available to the guests, they're available to the guests as well. So at any point during the broadcast, these buttons can be pressed. So thumbs up. Okay, and the next one, applause. Okay, so we're running through them. Okay, now you can switch the name on and off. If you want it to be anonymous, then we won't know which of your guests has done it, but you can switch the names on. I'll show you that in a moment. Next one, wow. That's not me. And then sad, depending on the story, of course. Love is in the air. And love icon will come up in a second. Or not. Okay. And there we are. So let's go back to love again. Ah, right, okay. And then the settings. Now, as far as the settings are concerned, you can, as I said earlier, give the reactions to guests as well. You can play the sounds, which hopefully you've heard on this recording. You can show participants' names with the reactions, and you can have the reactions move on the screen. So all of those are switchable on and off. Okay. So let's take the reactions off the screen. Now, the next thing is also important. If you're running a broadcast and you have several participants as guests, then if somebody wants to speak, they can quite simply take the reactions off. They can quite simply raise their hand. Okay, as soon as they start talking, then you get a message on the screen which says it sounds like you said something, so your hand will be lowered. So the hand will disappear off the screen automatically. Now, as I say, this is important in a scenario where you've got multiple guests and somebody wants to talk. They don't want to talk across somebody because trying to cut in doesn't really work. So raise your hand if you want to talk, and you can do it, and it shows on the screen until you actually start talking. So simple, straightforward to do, and it is simple and straightforward to do. Now, that basically was my BTS video, one of my BTS videos, because I train people how to do this live broadcasting thing. And when new features come out on OneStreamLive, we do a short video, bring it into the studio, and we play it. So that was not only a behind the scenes video, because it was showing my OneStreamLive studio, it was also a training video. So there is a connection between BTS and training. Sometimes you can produce a BTS video for in-house training. Sometimes you use it for how to use software, how to use a particular piece of machinery. All of this is behind the scenes. So BTS is big business. We're going to find out how big in a moment. So let's go over here. I want to say a big thank you for actually watching live. And if you're watching the replay, thank you. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. And LinkedIn, Twitch, everywhere. This video goes out normally Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern, and then it goes out again on replay at 2 o'clock. And everything that you're seeing now will be in the video that goes out later. So let's take myself off full screen. We go back to the shared screen again. And we're talking about behind the scenes, and we're talking about humanizing your brand through live streaming. And it's all about people. It's the process and the people. The two go together. And as I said, release, which is option 7, release on YouTube as a premiere, then take it from there and reuse the video. The thing about BTS video is, well, if I go here, the thing about BTS video, and this is important, when I do this live broadcast, it's played again later in the day, okay? And that's basically then people find it on YouTube through the search, and the number of people viewing the videos that I do for OneStreamLive keeps going up, for which I'm eternally grateful. But with BTS video, it's around, as I say, for the life of the product or service that you're actually providing. So you wanted to make it as good a quality as you can, high definition. You want to use the best cameras, the best microphones. Let's just look at how we ourselves find out about BTS video. And if you want samples of BTS video, then you need to look no further. And I'll go picture in picture again. Okay, where people use BTS video? Well, behind the scenes videos used in film and TV studios. We all enjoy watching a program about the making of a particular film or particular, So how do people do things when we're watching a movie? How do we know how they did it? Now, we know something about graphics, but we don't know exactly how we did it. And even since the days of Disney, where they used to show behind the scenes as the cartoonists were drawing the cartoons, we love to know how something is done. And that's the same as we said earlier with Greg Wallace and the videos on the BBC. We love to know how things are done. So a high proportion of BTS videos are actually in the film and TV studios. Next, music artists. And I'm thinking particularly, if I just scroll down this page, I'm just waiting for it to appear, and then we'll carry on. But I mean, the thing is, I read something earlier today, which is true, and I'm a firm adherent to this. I don't learn things parrot fashion. So I'm just waiting to get to a page, because behind the scenes, I've got a document which is on Grammarly, and it's my memory. So we want to know how CGI scenes are created. HBO use detailed behind the scenes. Pixar release documentaries and featurettes that delve into their animation processes. They showcase the storyboards and the voice actor sessions. Music artists, I'm going to pick 3, Beyonce, Billie Eilish, and Taylor Swift, all do BTS documentaries, all do BTS video, and they include it in their live performances, and that's the way they use it. Brands, fashion brands, Dior and Vogue, and one I've not heard of, Fenty Beauty by Rihanna, they use behind the scenes video to actually promote their products. Tech and gaming. I remember, I've got a long memory, and I remember when the Apple phones came out, and they used to release, and they still do, a new phone every year, and people got used to it. And we were trained to expect an Apple event, and an Apple event would be new products, and the products would be explained by behind the scenes video. So behind the scenes video is not something new. It's ever since video began. We want to know, we're curious. We want to know how things are done. And especially when somebody says, this is a brand new phone, I need to tell you about it, and they need to explain the features and the benefits so that you go out and buy it. So heavy use of BTS in sales, because you can't do everything live. Much as I'd love to do everything live, you can't do everything live. You've actually got to prepare in advance. BTS videos, you're actually going to plan. If you're doing an hour and a half presentation, then you may well have several different BTS videos you play at certain points during the broadcast. It helps people to take a breather. Okay, but it is important because people buy features, people buy quality, and people buy from people. And if people can actually meet your employees on screen or yourself on screen, then you're actually building a bond with your product or service. And that's important. Videos is the best way of doing that. Live video, you can do it. I can do it live. I can speak to people live on the chat. I don't need that anymore, do I? And I can say, I can play the messages as we've done then. So musicians, okay, make great use of BTS. The next item we're going to talk about is tech and gaming. Apple we're talking about just now. Gaming, the gaming houses send out behind the scenes footage of how something is created. On YouTube, we are used to seeing, and this is one of the things about live video. There's a glitch in this presentation, and we're coming up to it now. YouTubers and influencers, number 5 should be, and YouTubers and influencers do behind the scenes. I do product demonstrations, I do how-to videos, all behind the scenes. If you're thinking about buying something, the more you know about it, the more likely you are to buy. The more you can read the reviews, the more you can get involved in BTS video. Behind the scenes video is the bridging gap between the box that's just been produced and the customer buying it. BTS videos bridge that gap and bring the two together. So you can sell your product, you can sell your services using BTS video. And I do that. That's the way I work. I do a lot of BTS video, including course on Udemy, a BTS video, because I can use those videos that I did earlier within my live broadcast. Behind the scenes, BTS. Okay, we should go back to where we were, and I'm going to replace the media. And just a reminder, for me as well as you, we are on OneStreamLive, and this is the OneStreamLive YouTube channel. We're broadcasting every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. in the UK, and we talk about things in relation to streaming. Well, I've got a different topic each week, and I'm grateful to everybody who's actually watching the videos on the OneStreamLive YouTube channel, where we're broadcasting live now. And today's video is all about going live and using BTS. And BTS isn't necessarily live video. BTS, I want to add this to the stream, just give me a second. BTS is ordinarily recorded video because it's used within a live video to illustrate something. well, that's the way I would use it anyway, in a live performance. So BTS video is part of a live performance, and YouTubers and influencers actually make a great use of behind the scenes video. Corporate use of behind the scenes video, whenever a new product comes out, you'll find a corporate video about it. Whenever a company changes its procedures, then they will put a video out about it, telling you what's happening behind the scenes. And creative agencies are the ones who will produce videos like this. Okay, and I'm going to go down here and we're going to watch this for the second time. This is a high quality BTS. Now that is very high quality. In terms of producing, I've got a comment coming in. In terms of producing behind the scenes video, then you can do it in-house and you can do it externally. Let's go over to the chat. And I notice in the chat that, and I've got a comment coming in from my good friend, LaDrew, and it's saying that tester video is very impactful from a BTS and an advertising perspective. It works both ways, I agree. I mean, this is basically, when I do this show, I spend Tuesday preparing and what have you. And during preparation last night, I thought what I could do, rather than just talking about BTS, to actually show you BTS at its best. And that's one of the best examples I've come across. I mean, the Tesla product range is just, well, I mean, the guy is going to go to Mars eventually. And I'm enjoying broadcasting live on Twitter as well, again. But yeah, BTS behind the scenes video is the glue that takes from being a product in your factory to customer buying it, and it brings people together. And that's true of software. If you're going to use software, you want to know how to use it. The BTS video brings you as a user closer to being able to use the video or software effectively. Now, there is one final video I want to show you, which is something that's close to my heart, which I'll be doing on Saturday, whether it's raining or sun shining over there on Saturday. This is a BTS video that I found earlier today. And if you don't know anything about this explainer video is just, I love it.
Since 2012, Park Run in New Zealand has been changing lives, growing from a single event to 50 and beyond every Saturday morning. That means more than 120,000 New Zealanders walking, running, volunteering, supporting, socialising, smiling and connecting. And we're only just getting started. At Park Run, we celebrate participation, not performance. While traditional sports celebrate getting faster, we are proud of getting slower. Time with friends is more important than finish times, and the communities Parkrun creates extend beyond a Saturday morning. Our vision is to create an opportunity for everyone in New Zealand to become involved with Parkrun whenever they want to, by providing a safe, joyful, welcoming experience where everyone belongs. This means reaching more people, starting more events, collaborating with more community groups, and increasing the health and well-being impact of Parkrun across the country. We believe that Parkrun is one of the most important social activities for health and well-being in New Zealand. And with your help, we can fulfill our commitment to keep Parkrun free for everyone, forever. Thank you for your support.
Parkrun is international. It started in the UK in 2005. Every week, over 300,000 people, including those in New Zealand, turn up at the park 9 o'clock Saturday morning and run 5K, 3.1 miles. If you're looking to get some exercise, if you're looking to meet people, if you're looking to do something different, then do try Parkrun. I'm an advocate for Parkrun, and it's just one of the best ways to keep fit. Now, today we've been looking at behind the scenes video, of which that was a great example. And just to run through again, we're talking about creating the content, plan your story, and show the journey of the product or service, focus on the people involved, capture authentic moments. People want to see the real thing. Choose your medium, and you can broadcast on a blog or on live video. Highlight key elements, in other words, the production design, the equipment and collaboration that goes on in actually creating your product or service. Add value. Basically, you're here to educate and entertain. Don't forget that. So the entertainment part of it is important. Capture different perspectives, the director's perspective, your employees' perspectives, editing and presentation. Most BTS content is pre-recorded, so you do have the opportunity to use Camtasia or ScreenPal to do editing and presentation. Okay, and present it. Premiere it on YouTube. As far as people using BTS content, films and TV studios, music artists, fashion and beauty brands, the tech and gaming community, YouTubers and influencers, corporates and startups, and creative agencies and designers. I have been Stephen Healey, live from Wiltshire in England, broadcasting on OneStreamLive on the YouTube channel. I'm back at the same time next week, which is 10 AM Eastern, 3 PM in the UK, with a totally different topic. I look forward to seeing you. Until then, take care. Have a great day, and bye for now. That's a wrap. Bye. Oh, there's a video to come. Let's end the stream.